Hello, my name is Rose and you're welcome to Yarn Craftee. I'm going to be guiding you through how to crochet this sweater, but before we do that, I need to mention something very important. In this video, you will find some inconsistencies with the written pattern. The written pattern is a lot more accurate, so I encourage you to refer to the written pattern often as you work this sweater. The pattern is for free, so visit the link in the description box to get a copy of the pattern. Follow the written pattern as you're following this video, and in fact there are parts in this video that mention that you should refer to the written pattern for a more accurate outcome, right? So you would need your worsted weight yarn, in fact iron actually, but you might want to check the gauge to be sure that you're using the right size. You need a 5.5mm hook. You also need your scissors. You need your stitch marker. Very important. You need stitch markers for this. If you don't have stitch markers, use hairpins. That works just as good. And what else do we need? Well, that's about it. But before we go, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share. Thank you. So I'm going to start with a chain of 30. 30 chains done. Now I'm going to do half double crochet stitches into each of these chains, but we're going to skip the first chain. So half double crochet into the second chain from the hook. You notice I'm working into the bumps at the back here, right? It's just my preference. It's a personal thing, you know. All right. Half double crochet across, so that means I'm going to have 29 stitches at the end of the row. 29 stitches done. Now chain 1 and turn. On the next row we're going to be working bean stitches. So but first we're going to do the half double crochet into the first stitch right there, half double crochet, and now we're going to do our bean stitch. So right from here we go. There's a tutorial on bean stitch if you want to check it out and see how that goes. Yarn over again and go into stitch. See that? I'll do it again. We'll go into the stitch first, bring out a loop, yarn over, bring out a loop, yarn over, go in, bring out a loop, and pull through all. And I will chain one, and we'll go again. Skip this next stitch, alright, because this chain 1 is counting for this stitch into the next. Chain 1, skip this next stitch, go into the next. See that? Chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then the next we'll go again. Chain 1, and we're going to repeat that across the row. We're going to end in the last stitch with a half double crochet stitch. So let's finish the row. We have 1, 2, 3 stitches left. See, there is a stitch on this corner. It's just scratched because we only skipped one chain at the beginning of row 1. So bean stitch, chain 1, skip the next stitch, bean stitch, and let's finish with a half double crochet stitch. There we go. So chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to be doing half double crochet stitches into these bean stitches. So we're going to be working into these spaces of this skipped stitch from the previous row. But first we'll do our first half double crochet into the first stitch here, which was the last half double crochet we did on row 2. Okay, half double crochet into the first stitch, and we'll go in between the bean stitches and work 2 half double crochet stitches each. 2 half double crochet. At the end of the row we want to have the same number that we have all through from the very first part here, which is 29 stitches. So 2 half double crochets there. Now we already have 3. 2 half double crochets again. In the next 2 half double crochets. We're going to be working that across the row. 2 half double crochets each. Okay, making progress. Now we're going to finish with 2 stitches, because see, we do not really have any chain 1 in between here, because when we did this half double crochet we immediately did the bean stitch. So we're going to finish with half double crochet in that bean stitch. See that right there at top, half double crochet. This is going to be worked the same way for all sizes, all right? And then half double crochet into the last stitch right there. All done, 29 stitches. Okay, let's go again. Chain 1 and turn. We're going to repeat row 2 again now, which is bean stitch. This bean stitch, and yeah, we'll repeat this bean stitch row 2, and then we'll repeat row 3 again, and then repeat row 2 again. So for rows let's see, 1 2 3. So for rows 4 5 6, we want to repeat again rows 2 and 3. So let's repeat rows 2 and 3. You want to rewind this video so that you can see how we did this bean stitch part and the half double crochet rows. So 6 rows of stitches, and the 6th row being the bean stitch. So chain 1 and turn. So we're going to start to increase gradually from row 7. So into the first one we're going to make 2 half double crochet stitches. In the previous ones we only did 1 half double crochet stitch, but now because we're increasing gradually, we're going to make 2 half double crochets into the first stitch. 2 half double crochets, and we'll continue making half double crochets between the bean stitches. And let's finish our row. So half double crochet here and 2 half double crochets into the last stitch. Remember, we are increasing. So now that means I have 31 stitches because we've increased on each of these sides. Just to be sure, 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 16 18 20 22 24 26 28 30 31. So that's 31 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. Row 8, bean stitch row. We're going to be doing it the same way we've been doing. We did 2 4 6. So first a half double crochet. So on the bean stitch row we're not increasing, all right? We're not increasing. We're only just doing single stitches into each of the stitches across. So our bean stitch goes there in the next stitch. Here we go, chain 1, skip the next stitch, bean stitch in the next. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, bean stitch in the next. Chain 1. So let's repeat this across the row. All right, bean stitch, chain 1, skip this, bean stitch here, and finish with half double crochet into the last stitch. I am placing the stitch marker here just to give me a heads up of where the increase began. So chain 1, turn. rows 9, 10, no increases, just half double crochet stitch and bean stitch, and then rows 11, 12, row 11 will be a repeat of row 7, will be increasing. So what I'm saying now is the next 2 rows, no increases. So we'll do our double crochet, half double crochet and bean stitch. So half double crochet into the first stitch and 2 half double crochets in between the bean stitches. So no increases for the next 2 rows, and then the next 2 rows will increase again, alright, which is rows. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, no increases. Row 11, increase. We'll just do what we did on row 7, and then yeah. So I'll see you at the end of the next 2 rows where we have to increase. I'll see you at row 11. Alright, it's time to increase again. Chain 1, turn, row 11, row 11, right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, increase 2 half double crochets. So what we're doing on row 11 is a repeat of row 7, yep, which is this point right here. So let's do that. Let's repeat row 7, 2 half double crochets. So essentially what we want to do now is like I said, we're gradually increasing. So let's repeat rows 7, 8, 9 and 10. Let's repeat it, and I'll see you at the end of 11, 12, 13, 14, row 14. Alright, so that's it, the end of 14. So I think you get the gist now, hopefully. So we're going to be increasing after every fourth row. So this is row 14 now. I'm going to turn and I'm going to increase again on row 15. I'll take it up by 3 rows without increasing, and then on the next 4th row increase again. Take it up by 3 rows, and in the next 4th row increase again. So that's what we want to be doing now. So we increased here, and then 1, 2, 3. On the 4th we increase again, which will land on a half double crochet stitch row. Increase again, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th increase again, 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th increase again, increasing on both ends. Alright, 2 half double crochets at the beginning, 2 half double crochets at the end. So let's continue to increase, and then see you when we stop increasing. Alright, heading on. Now I have 11 rows of increases. By 11 rows of increases I mean just these increase rows, not the entire thing. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So on the 11th one I'm going to extend this, extend it so that we can have the body, because this is going to be folded like this, yeah. So we're just going to continue to work on this part. Now I'm going to chain so here I have chained 46 chains, and I'm going to begin to work single crochets. So 46 chains, skip the first chain, single crochet into the next chain, into the next chain again, and into each of the chains across. Alright, this is where we're at, but there is one more chain to work into, which is this right here. See it? This first chain. So I'm going to work in there. Alright, so single crochet all the way. So now that means I have 45 stitches here because we did 46 chains. we skip the very first chain. Now starting to work on the body of the sleeve. So see, these are the first two increases from the last row there. So I'm doing single crochet, single crochet, and single crochet. Now I'm going to start making bean stitches. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, bean stitch, chain 1, skip the next stitch, bean stitch. So you want to repeat this, repeat it across, and 1, 2, 3. We will have these 3 stitches, except these 1, 2, 3 stitches. All right. So let's repeat bean stitches into each of the stitches. Bean stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, except these 3 stitches. Okay, here we are now. So now instead of making a chain 1, we won't do that, because see here we have our first 1, 2, 3 stitches to be single crochet stitches. So we're going to replicate the same thing here. So after the last bean stitch, we will go to the next one, single crochet, and the next single crochet, and the next single crochet. You see that? Now we want to extend this just like we have this here. So we will extend it by doing a FSC. I used this technique when I was making the market bag, the eco-friendly market bag. You can check that out as well. But for this, we're going to do this together. So we want to make another 45. Now we're making 45 stitches, not 46, because we're not going to be making chains. We're just going to be doing the single crochets directly. So this previous stitch where we just finished in, yeah, let's go back in there, pull out a loop. Now yarn over, pull through only one of those loops. Okay, so that's like creating the chain, the base, right, the foundation for the single crochets to lay on, and finish with a single crochet. So that's one done. So let's go back down there. You want to make sure that you're going under both loops there. Okay, and then again. So that's 2 single crochet stitches now. So let's go again under both loops. Remember, one, pull through one first, and 3 single crochets. Let's do this again under both loops. Pull out the loop, yarn over, pull out another loop. Okay, and go in there. All right, so we'll go into the bottom first, pull out a loop, yarn over, you have to pull out another loop, okay, and yarn over and pull through 2. So we're gonna work this row like this. So I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already. Now I have to do 40 more. So let's repeat this, and I'll see you at the end of the round. If this is a bit confusing, rewind the video and reduce the playback speed as well, so that you can really see how it is done. Okay, this has been extended to be 45 stitches here, 45 stitches here. So let's chain 1 and turn. And we're going to do half double crochet stitches in through all of in the first stitch, in the next stitch, and into each of the single crochet stitches. Alright, now that we've completed working half double crochet stitches in through the single crochet stitches, we're going to work 2 half double crochet stitches in between the bean stitches. See, just like we did on these previous rows. If it will help, I would suggest marking the first stitch, okay, on the sleeve here, so that you know that you're making the right number of stitches. Okay, so you can mark the very first stitch on the sleeve area here, and at the end also, because for this it's 51, so that it helps to separate the number of these other parts from the sleeves. Alright, so we've completed 2 half double crochet stitches in between the bean stitches. Now we're going to finish this with double crochet, half double crochet into the last into the remaining stitches. So if you notice, I'm making only one double crochet, half double crochet stitch here, because it counts for the remaining number of stitches. Because from here, if I count from here all the way here, I have 51 stitches with just this one half double crochet in there. Now I'm going to just go ahead and continue to make half double crochet stitches into the rest of the single crochet stitches. Alright, that's the end. See, now I have marked my stitches. I think this is really important because it's going to help. It's going to really help with keeping the stitches the same number. Alright, so chain 1, turn, single crochet into each of the stitches. So we want to do single crochet all the way, and then we'll do single crochet in 1, 2, 3 stitches, and then we will begin the bean stitches. Single crochet. I'm going to put my stitch marker back in there. Single crochet, single crochet, and now we're going to start the bean stitches. Chain 1, skip 1, bean stitch in the next. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, bean stitch in the next stitch. So let's repeat this all the way to this point, and we will leave 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. These will be single crochet stitches. Alright, and let's now make our single crochet stitches. I'm going to move this up. And single crochet into the rest of the stitches. Chain 1 and turn. So we're going to repeat this half double crochet stitch row again, just like this. So we want to work the half double crochet stitches. We're gonna do it just the same way we did this. So we're gonna call this row let's see, row 2. This row 2 of half double crochet stitches. I'm going to repeat it again. Alright, all the half double crochets done up to the point of the very first bean stitch. Now we're going to be making 2 half double crochet stitches between the bean stitches. Okay, let's repeat this all the way down. Alright, and now we will do single half double crochet stitches. And I'm going to move this all the way here. Let's finish the row with half double crochet stitches. At the end of the row, chain 1, turn, and work back single crochet stitches. So we're going to repeat 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're going to repeat row 3 of single crochet stitches. Alright, so at this point now, the single crochet row, remember, we were here before, so we did half double crochet rows all the way to the end. Chain 1, turn, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, across. So now let's repeat this single crochet row where we will do the bean stitch. Alright, so single crochet in 3 stitches and then begin to do bean stitches across. Alright, till the last 3 stitches here. So single crochet in the last 3 stitches and single crochet across the row. So chain 1 at the end of the row, turn, half double crochet all the way down to the bean stitch, and then we begin to make 2 half double crochet stitches. In essence, what I'm saying now is let's repeat this single crochet stitch row where we do the bean stitches and then the half double crochet rows where it's just half double crochets across the row. So I will see you at the end of the next half double crochet row. Don't forget, you can always check the written pattern for the guide to all of this. Heading on, see now we have done 6 rows of single crochets, bean stitch, and half double crochets. So we've repeated that across 6 rows. So now, from now on, we're not going to be doing bean stitches anymore. So this is the end of the half double crochet row. So when we chain 1 and turn, we're only going to be doing single crochet stitches across the row. So when we get to this point, it will be single crochet all the way. Single crochet all the way. And at the end, chain 1, turn, half double crochet all the way. We will repeat this for the next couple of rows. So let's go ahead and repeat single crochet rows and half double crochet rows. Alright, here we are. So you see, I have repeated 2 rows of single crochet, and half double crochet stitches. So we want to continue repeating these 2 rows across. Refer to the written pattern for how many rows you need to make before we make further adjustments. Alright, here we are all done with the rows. So In all, there are 80 rows here from the sleeve all up to the body here. So what we want to do now is we're going to make two of this. So just the way that you've made this one, you want to make another one. All right, and when we finish with that, we're going to join the pieces. So when we want to join from, okay, so this is one of the parts. So I'm going to first connect it to the side here. Okay, once we do that, then we're going to start join. Take note of the first stitch, okay? I'm going to start joining from the front loop, okay? You see there is this two here, not this one, this one, okay? From the front loop of the other side, which is now the back loop, right? We're joining from the wrong side, the back of this, the right side with all the puffs here. So, I mean the puffy part. So we'll go in there, into the back loop there, and into the back loop here. Into here, and where's the second one here? Into here. Back loop, back loop, back loop, back loop. All right, so do that gradually until you join to the number of stitches that you need to. So if you're wondering, if you're confused about how many stitches you've joined so far, you just come back here and look at the stitches that you have done. So the first one here is, this is the single crochet, this is the first one, and second, and third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So yeah, that's how you see them. Now that we have joined the parts, the sides, and the center, we're going to extend this a little bit further. So what we want to do, we want to start in these stitches. That is the very last stitch where we have joined this, where these two pieces connect. We will start in there. I'm just going to go in and also try to get the second loop also. Let's join our yarn. I will chain one, and we're going to do a decrease in here, half double crochet, and we will come to the second part here. I'm going into that loop. I will also try and look for the second loop. Yeah. So I'm going under two loops. So even though we join through only one loop, I'm going to go under both loops. The second one here. Okay, and do a decrease. There we go. That's done. So we're going to work half double crochet stitches. I'm going to work it all the way up and then to the back where we will decrease again. All right, so let's do this. Half double crochet into the next stitch and the next. All right, now we are at the other end. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to decrease. I'm going to make sure that I'm also going into the second loop of the stitch there. And then this is the other one where these two connect, right? Okay, because yeah, we need to get the two loops, and we will decrease. Okay, now we will finish with by continuing to make a half double crochet stitches all the way to the other end. Now we want to finish the round by joining into the first decrease here. That is the half double crochet stitch. Let's join. Now chain 1, turn. We're going to be working back and forth round. Now we're going to do our single crochet. Chain 1, turn. Now we want to decrease first. We will decrease. So please take note. This is where we're at. This half double crochet decrease. We're here right now. What we want to decrease? We want to decrease across 3 stitches. This one right here, this half double crochet stitch in the middle, and this last stitch. Okay. So we're going to go back. So just to be sure. This is, okay, right here, this one, okay, so across this one and this one, right, this is the slip stitch, so not, this is the stitch and this one, so you can always place a stitch marker on that last row, or just go back and look at the stitch to make sure that you're working into the right ones. So here we go. I'm going back here to this other stitch and I'm going forward. I'm skipping this one entirely. I'm not going to go back and work into this decrease and going to the next one here, which is the last one on the previous round. I'm doing the decrease. There we go. Okay, and let's do single crochet stitches. When we get to this other point here, we're going to decrease again across 3 stitches. So let's repeat single crochet stitches for now. Here we are at the other point for decrease. So this is the middle stitch, the decrease from before. This is the stitch before and this is the stitch after. So we're decreasing across these 3 stitches. So single crochet decrease, skip this middle one and go to the next one and decrease. There we have it. Let's finish the round with single crochet stitches. Alright, now we're at the end of the single crochet round. Look here, it looks like there's 2 stitches left, right? Well, really it's just one, because this one we already worked into it before when we decreased, okay? When we decreased across this and the other stitch. So this is already occupied. So we have just 1 stitch left to work into. I'm showing you that so that you can take note for when you're doing yours, so that you don't go back and work into the stitch again. Preferably just place a stitch marker in here once you've do the first decrease. Okay, now single crochet, and I'm going to join to the very first single crochet stitch, which is this one, the first decrease. Chain 1 and turn. We're going to go and decrease again, this time with the half double crochet. So we're interchanging between half double crochet and single crochet stitches. Alright, chain 1, turn. We're going to decrease again just like we did for this single crochet round. We're going to go back first work into the stitch from the previous stitch, all right, and into the previous stitch, half double crochet, and into the next stitch. So we're not touching the middle stitch at all. That is where we join, because we're decreasing across 3 stitches and into that first stitch. There we go. And let's just continue to make our half double crochet stitches. It's time to decrease. So let's decrease across 1, 2, 3 in the next stitch. Because this is the middle stitch, right? The decrease from round 2. That's single crochet decrease. So we'll skip that one and go to the next one. There we go, and continue to make half double crochet stitches around. Alright, let's join round 3. Yep, round 3. So you see, it looks like there is a stitch here, but no, that's not the case. Remember, just like it looked before on the second round for single crochet, we already worked into this, remember, when we decreased. So I'm just going to join. Chain 1, turn, and we will repeat round 2 again, single crochet round. Alright, and we'll go into the last stitch there, into the last stitch, and go into the first stitch here. See where that is, which is this one right here, and decrease. Alright, now single crochet, and single crochet around to the next point where we will decrease again. Let's decrease now. Decrease across the next 3 stitches in that dent, valley 1, and skip the next one, which is the decrease, and go into the next stitch. So how do you know where to be decreasing at? Just know once you come down the round, always look out for the decrease in the middle. Like I said, what you can do is place a stitch marker there so that you know automatically that the stitch before and the stitch after are the ones you will be decreasing in. So I'm going to decrease, I'll skip the middle stitch and decrease. So let's continue to do the single crochet stitches. Alright, single crochet, and that's it. We're not going to be working in here because it's already we already worked into that at the beginning of the round. Now let's join. Chain 1 and turn. So let's repeat rounds 3 and 4. That is the half double crochet round and the single crochet round. So you can rewind this video to see that again. So let's repeat it a couple more times, and then I will see you when we need to make our further adjustments. Remember to place a stitch marker into the middle stitches, that is the decreases. Alright, here we have 6 rounds of the stitches worked around. Now we're going to, what you want to do is count the number of stitches you have minus the decreases, okay? That is, these ones that we decreased, these decreased stitches will not be counted. So we want to count the stitches that we have on here, count them all the way to the other end, minus this decrease also. So here that I have counted 60 stitches, minus the decrease is 60 stitches on this side, 60 stitches on this side. And I have marked the half point, that is 30 here, 30 here, 30 here, and 30 here. Now what we want to do is we want to what would I say, like we want to create the back, okay, but we will continue. We don't want to snip the yarn, but we want to create a back here for. So what we're going to do is create a kind of triangle, a triangle shape. But first let's continue. Okay, this is the last single crochet round I mean, and we have marked out the stitches. After we do that, we will minus 5 from the stitches. So 30. Now I'm using half of the number of stitches. The entire length is 60 stitches, but since I have marked half out, that's 30. Now I'm going to minus 5 from 30, which is 25. So whatever number you have is the same number of stitches you want to take out. So even if you have like, let's say 61, an odd number stitch, so you also take out 5 from the number of stitches you have. So if you have an odd number of stitches, for instance you have 61, also go ahead and mark out 31 stitches. So the number of stitches in front should be more than the one at the back if you have an odd number of stitches. So that means if you have 61 stitches, the front part will be 31 and the back will be 30. So from the half of what you have, we're going to minus 5. And okay, and now I have turned, because the last row was a single crochet round. Let's go again and decrease in the first 2 stitches. Remember, the one at the back here and this one in front, the next one. Half double crochet. Now we're going to do half double crochet into 24 stitches. Remember, we have minus 5 from 30. So we have decreased in one of those stitches. So we'll make 24 half double crochet stitches. Here we are now. We have 24 stitches. If I wasn't sure at all about if I had the right number of stitches, I'm going to count again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. So that means I have the exact number of stitches I need, because minus 5 from 30 and we decreased 1. So that means we have 24 stitches to make, which we have done here. And like I said, we're making a triangle shape. And triangles have all sides equal, right? So now we're going to chain 24. 24 chains, and let me minus 5 from this other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go into the next stitch, this one right here, the 26th one, and I'll do a half double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over first and go into the stitch. Alright, so do you understand what we just did now? We were trying to make the sides equal because it's a triangle, and triangles have equal sides. We made 24 stitches on this side, and we're making 24 chains, and we will go down here and make 24 stitches as well. Of course, it's not going to be the same number of stitches for all the sizes, so that is why I recommend to count it first and do all of that math. I will also make an explanation for that in the pattern here. So let's continue to work half double crochet stitches down the round. Alright, once that is done, let's join to the very first stitch. So we have equal number of stitches on each of the three sides, 24, 24, and 24. Alright, heading on, chain 1 and turn. Decrease, we will start with our decrease as usual, decrease from the previous one and the next one. So this one now is single crochet, right? Because we just did half double crochet, single crochet, and now we're going to do single crochet. We have decreased, so let's do single crochet again on the next 22 stitches. We've decreased here, we have 24 stitches, right? And we're going to decrease at 2 points, this point and this point. So we're decreasing 2 stitches, means we're going to work 22 stitches now in between. 1, 2, 22 stitches done. Let's decrease. So we have this a half double crochet stitch. See here, when we connected it, we have this one, this half double crochet. So we're going to be decreasing in that half double crochet and the very first or rather the last chain into the chain. I'm going to go into the back bump. There we go, and decrease. See that? Now we're going to do single crochets into each of these except the last chain here, which we will connect to this half double crochet stitch. Let's decrease at the corner. So into the last chain 1 stitch and the first half double crochet on this part, we decrease. Okay, at every point you just want to make sure that you have the right number of stitches, so that they're all equal. And we will continue to make single crochets into the rest of the stitches. So we're going to have 22 on this side as well. And the last single crochet is joined to the very first decrease. Alright, so once we join that, we're going to snip the yarn. We'll have this large V at the back. Now we want to also trim the front. Let's start in here. We'll start into this stitch here. Okay, this is the decrease in the middle, so we're going to work in here and in here, skipping the stitch in the middle of the decrease stitch. Chain 1, half double crochet, decrease in that same stitch where we chain 1. Yep, skip the middle stitch and go into the next stitch. We're starting with half double crochet because the previous stitch was a single crochet stitch. You see that? Alright, remember that this is the front, right? Half double crochet. I have worked this half double crochet all up all the stitches, and this into this stitch we already have a stitch here, which is the half double crochet row that goes to the back. So what we want to do now is into this half double crochet row that leads to the back, we're going to make 2 half double crochet stitches in there. And we're going to begin to work single half double crochet stitches into all of these. So we want to have 24 because remember when we made those chains, we had 24 chains. So we want to go ahead and make that here now. We'll be working into the other side of the chains. So we're going to start with a half double crochet into the first chain. I mean, it's upside down, so I have to look closely for the chain, the other side of the chain. Okay. Of course, yours may be more or less depending on the number of chains that you first made when we were making this line for the triangle for the back. So you want to do that, half double crochet stitches across the row. And making the last half double crochet stitch right on both that single crochet row that leads to the back. Alright, so the next half double crochet row that leads to the back, we'll do 2 half double crochet stitches in there. And continue to do half double crochets into the remaining stitches on the front. Please don't go in here because there is a stitch in here, the half double crochet that leads to the back. Remember when we did all those additions and subtractions? So go into the next stitch and continue to work half double crochets round, and we will, and let's join to the very first stitch, chain 1 and turn. Let's decrease in stitch here and a stitch here, single crochet decrease because it's a single crochet row now. Okay, and now we're going to do bean stitches and chain ones. So into the next stitch, bean stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, bean stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, bean stitch, chain 1, skip 1. Alright, I'm going to do this around. After the last bean stitch, you may or may not have one more stitch left. If you do, chain 1 and join to the first stitch. If you don't, great, bean stitch and join to the very first stitch. Alright, And now we're going to work on the bottom part. Turn to the back. Alright. Join your yarn into the stitch row. It's at the side. Alright. Chain 1, single crochet, and we're working from the wrong side. Single crochet, and into the next stitch row, which is a half double crochet, single crochet, and the next stitch row, which is a single crochet, single crochet. Right, let's do this. We'll do this into each of the stitches around. On here, we're going to, so we have the half double crochet, we have a single crochet. So once you make the single crochet here, just go right next to the other one here. We are now working into this join here. We'll go from here to the next stitch row here, and we will continue to make the single crochet stitches around. And we will finish the round with single crochet into the last stitch row and join to the first stitch, chain 1, and now we're going to be making bean stitches. So into the very first stitch, right, where we just join into, we make our first bean stitch. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, bean stitch in the next. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, bean stitch in the next. Alright, so this is what we want to be repeating around. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, bean stitch in the next. We'll do this around. Alright, we have the last bean stitch, and we will chain 1, and we have 1 stitch left here. We're going to skip that stitch and join to the top of the first bean stitch on the round. Chain 1. Now we're going to start to make 2 single crochets into in the chain 1 spaces between the bean stitches. 2 single crochets, two single crochets in the next also. So we want to do this around into each of the chain 1 spaces. So let's repeat this around. 2 single crochets between the bean stitches, and 2 single crochets into that last chain 1 space. Let's join to the first single crochet on the round.